Alrighty guys, welcome. We are in Madrid, Spain, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some changes that we're going to be making to this channel going forward. I want to talk a little bit about, a little bit of a life update in general, because I know it's been a while, and talk a little bit about the content I've been making in the past and what it is that I'm looking to, or I'm going to be changing here going forward in the future, and why that is. Because I feel like over this past year, especially, a little bit of an update, I've traveled more this year than I think at any other point, any other year of my life. And I've realized a lot, and I've realized a lot of the things that are important to me. And going around the world, observing things, seeing patterns in various things, I've really gathered a lot of information of how I want to think and what is important for me and what is important for me to talk about. And it's shifted a lot. And so for you guys I know who've maybe been following me on YouTube for a while, and by the way, if you've been following me on YouTube for a while and you don't follow me on Instagram, that's where I've been putting the most of my focus over the past few months, really. I wouldn't say it's taken off, but it's done pretty good. My Instagram's done pretty good. I like the platform because you can connect with your followers pretty easy. So definitely check out the stuff I'm posting on there. The stuff I'm posting on there is going to be more similar to the stuff I'm going to start posting on here. A lot of you guys, you know me as the guy who was traveling, digital nomad. I'd go to certain places a lot of time in Latin America, Eastern Europe, and a few other places, but mostly Latin America. And you can see over the course of the years of me uploading videos, I have been making a particular progression towards something, and the places that I've chosen and the things that I'm over time deciding to value more and more. Because I started, most of my videos were in Colombia, and I would talk about the culture there, I would talk about the life there, the cost of living and everything like that. I would talk about dating the girls there, and I realized I was attracting an audience that I didn't really like so much. I mean, not you, obviously. If you're watching this video, I obviously really like you, but every now and then I would get like this type of person that would hit me up. But it was really, I was attracting because it was a reflection of who I was, and it was a reflection of what my priorities were at the time. And it was really just like going to Colombia and Latin America, which I think is a fun thing to do, especially while you're young. If you're a young man, 18, 22, 23, going to places like the jungle, Brazil, Colombia, some of these places like I was going to, not only was I going there, but I was going to these places, these villages, these places where I barely spoke any Spanish. I would just go up and conquistar las mujeres, and I would do ayahuasca in the jungle dozens and dozens of times, met various shamans and indulged in Amazonic wisdom, all while just really having this somewhat, I don't know, want to say like indulgent life, but in a lot of ways I feel like I was maybe looking to not necessarily escape, because I feel like it's a very powerful experience, but as you get older and as you mature, I think your priorities change, and I'm realizing that the most important thing to me is the stuff that I'm posting more on Instagram. And the stuff that I'm posting more on Instagram are things that don't relate so much to traveling or traveling to the third world or whatever, but it has to do with European culture. Because as you travel and you contrast yourself with the background, with the environment that's around you, which inevitably happens whenever you're somewhere different, the things about you do discover yourself a little bit, as cringy as that sounds, in travel, because you realize, especially as time goes on, I've been doing this for years, there are certain things about you that don't change no matter what the place is. And there's some things that do, but certain things never change. And one of those things for me is I always realize the people I like the best are Europeans. And when I say Europeans, Americans, Australians, people of just European descent. I think they're the most creative. I think that they're most artistic. I think that they're the most just like intuitive, and they're intelligent in a way that I find fascinating and very intellectual. And I think that for me, wherever I am, wherever I travel, it's always those people that I like to associate with the most. And now as I get older, like the type of art that I appreciate, the type of music that I appreciate. I don't listen to gangster rap or whatever the fuck, that stupid music. I like things that are, I think, representative of those people. And so I think that to some degree, when you're in Latin America, and again, like, I like Latin America, I'll probably go back to Latin America probably several times, especially like Argentina, Patagonia, southern Brazil. It's really nice, very Germanic. But to an extent, like, when you make that your life, you're maybe to some degree forfeiting something about who you are. And I really don't want to be someone who promotes you guys to go down there. And definitely probably not date the girls down there. Like, you shouldn't date them, have fun or whatever, get your practice in if you need to get some reps or whatever. But a European man probably should not have kids with a woman who's, I don't know how much I can get into that sort of stuff on YouTube. So the stuff I'm talking more about on Instagram has a lot more to do with, I think, like stuff like that, European heritage. Like right now I'm in Spain. I'm in this nice little botanical park. It's beautiful. You could never find something like this in Colombia. There is actually a botanical park in Colombia that is quite nice, but I don't know how, I don't think it's as well maintained. I don't know, honestly, that the botanical gardens in Colombia is pretty nice. But as far as like the architecture, the museums, stuff like that you're walking around, you just don't have this in some of these places. And one of the reasons why I have grown to prioritize these things more and more over time is because when I was making YouTube videos about traveling in Latin America, the hate comments, which I like hate comments, were always the same thing. It was always these racially based hate comments where people were talking about, oh, you're this white colonizer. And it was like, oh, these people just hate you. Like, they just hate you for the color of your skin or whatever. And I thought that was interesting. And so it's, why do they hate you? And there's some self-hating whites elements, but also like with especially like in Colombia and some of these places, in some of these countries, third world countries, there's a lot of resentment towards Europeans, not because of colonialism, because colonialism, if anything, helped them. In reality, it's, in my opinion, it's this false idea that like, oh, if you guys didn't do that, we would have been so great. And that's obviously not the case. You travel, there's just certain people that just are the way they are. And so why do they hate you? They hate you because this culture that springs from this continent that I'm currently on, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful. I think I could say that in the world. And ugliness is always going to resent beauty, especially when that ugliness is baked into the cake of who they are and it's not something they can change. You're naturally going to resent something like that. It's a natural thing in the human psyche too, for something that is insecure and ugly or whatever, going to resent that which is beautiful. And I think that's what often happens with the rest of the world when it comes to Europeans. Europeans are the only people that you're not allowed to talk about the fact that they have a homeland, that Europe is their homeland, and diversity isn't making it stronger, it's making it weaker. And when that diversity gets to a certain point, there's no going back. Where are we gonna go? Like, all Pakistanis can go back to Pakistan, Indians can go back to India, but where are Europeans gonna go when the diversity reaches a critical point? Because it's already feeling like me, someone who's traveled a lot, that there's a limited amount of places I can go where I can just be around the types of people that I like and everything like that the most. So all that's to say is that's some of the stuff that I think is more important. I think if you're traveling to Latin America and you're a young guy, have your fun, but in a lot of ways, I think it's just somewhat of a form of escapism. So that's some of the stuff that I've been thinking about that I want to talk about more going forward. So right now, like I said, we're in Spain. We're the heart of the colonizer. Some of the best colonizers have come from Spain. And so we're in our Reconquista era. And then we're going to be going to Germany soon, to the land of our leader, and going to be exploring that. Thank you very much for watching. And you can shoot me a DM on Instagram, like I said. It's a lot more responsive on there. And yeah, we'll just take it from here. Peace out.